Hello guys, welcome to By Africans for Africa TV. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also like this video so that it can be recommended to more people, and also share with your friends and family. Today we look at 7 African millionaires that started their businesses with just $250 or less. Sometimes all you need to start a business is $250. While this sum may sound ridiculously low and seem to be of no use to any aspiring or budding entrepreneur, many have created fortunes and built empires from it. These African millionaires that made the impossible seem attainable have been applauded countless times for their outstanding efforts in wealth creation. They have not just shown that tenacity of purpose is supreme, but that any smart and highly disciplined individual can achieve anything with the right amount of smart effort applied. Number 1. COSMAS MADUKA. COSMAS MADUKA is a business magnate from Nnewi in Anambra, Nigeria. He's the founder and CEO of COSMAS Motors Limited. The multi-millionaire with a net worth sitting at over $500 million started his business career by leaving his mom to serve his uncle as an apprentice at the age of 7. By the age of 9, he had started helping his uncle to purchase and transport spare parts from Nnewi to Lagos. After falling out with his uncle, he was left all alone with just $1. Although his sum had a higher value in the 1970s, he set out with his brother to start a spare part business. Due to different ideologies on how the business should run, he set out alone to start a new business called COSMAS with his wife. The name of the company came from a combination of his name, Cosmas, and his wife, Charity, making COSMAS. In the year 1982, he was among the 10 lucky individuals that got a license from the Nigerian government to import automobiles into the country. The rest today, as they say, is history. Cosmas is not just the CEO of the COSMAS Group, but is one of the largest shareholders in Access Bank Nigeria, and is estimated by Forbes Africa to have a net worth sitting above $500 million. COSMAS MADUKA's resilience has placed him not just as hard man for misfortune to beat, but as also one of the richest Nigerians alive today. Number 2. ABASIAMA IDARESIT. ABASIAMA IDARESIT's success story is one that didn't just make his talent something for African entrepreneurs to learn from, but also created an event that even Google couldn't ignore, and had to create a marketing case study from. After attaining his master's degree from the Manchester Business School, ABASIAMA returned to Nigeria to start a digital agency. For over 7 months, he didn't get a single client. Then he came across Baby M, a store located in Koi, Nigeria. He offered to help them promote their brand online for a little fee, and the only way he got the approval was by offering a full refund if the campaign fails. Baby M's founder considered his offer and paid him $250 for the campaign. As soon as the campaign started, it went viral. Baby M, prior to his campaign, was earning an average month revenue of $1,000, but by the third month, he had turned a $250 campaign into $100,000 a month revenue business. Today, his company, World Fusion, is located in at least 3 African countries, has Visa, Samsung, Pepsi, Unilever, Interswitch, EcoBank, and a host of other multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar conglomerates as clients, and is worth at least $6 million. Number 3. AXEL FOURIE. AXEL FOURIE could be termed as an accidental entrepreneur, but is entirely not. At the age of 27, the young South African had a problem with his iPod, then went on YouTube to find a solution for it. After he successfully fixed it, he realized he could turn this opportunity into a revenue stream. Solving his own problem triggered an impulse to place an advert in a local newspaper offering to fix iPads and iPods. The responses he got were exceedingly overwhelming. After a long streak of unsuccessful businesses, AXEL FOURIE finally found something that could work. Soon after, AXEL started a company called iFix and operated it from his dorm room in the university. The success of the store didn't just outgrow itself, but currently has at least 8 locations and employs over 85 people. iFix today doesn't just repair iPads and iPods, but also manufactures mobile phone accessories, which exports to many countries across Africa. Total startup capital was $0, and has generated over $1 million in revenue. The opportunity made him one of the youngest African millionaires. Number 4. Michael ADE-OJO. Born in 1934 in Nigeria, Michael ADE-OJO spent the early years of his life as a street vendor selling charcoal food and firewood to make ends meet. After his graduation from the university, which was majorly sponsored by CFAO Motors, a French distribution company, Michael joined them as a junior staff. His performance at the company was outstanding, but ended in his ousting from it as a result of a superior staff taking credit for some of his achievements. From CFAO Motors, he moved on to British Petroleum. Within 3 months in his stay there, his marketing talents got him to increase the sales of his branch by 25%. This was followed by another unfortunate issue of credit being taken for his hard work. Pained by all the events in progression, during his annual British Petroleum holiday, he approached the RT Briscoe Group, an importer of trucking and automobile equipment, and offered to sell their equipment for a commission on every sale. In just 4 months of marketing their products, he sold about 40 vehicles and made more money from the sales than his entire British Petroleum year's salary. This prompted him to resign and focus fully on his new path. In 1971, he registered a company called Elizade Independent Agencies and focused on the distribution of automobiles, especially Japanese cars, around Nigeria. Today's personal net worth, according to Forbes, sits at over $500 million, and his conglomerate consists of Toyota Nigeria Limited, RT Briscoe Nigeria, Elizade Autoland, Classic Motors Limited, Crow Motors Nigeria Limited, Elizade University, Okin Travels Limited, and a host of other investments. He's also on the board of directors of several Nigerian banks and other companies such as EcoBank, First City Monument Bank, and SMT Nigeria Limited, the official distributors of Mack Trucks, Volvo, and Volvo Construction Equipment. Number 5. Anna PHOSA. In 2004, Anna PHOSA started a pig farming business with just $100. For a start, she purchased 4 pigs with the sum. 4 years later, in 2008, she got a contract from Pick n Pay South African Little Giant to supply them 10 pigs. With this first break, her fortunes began to look greener, and just when it wasn't seeming to go beyond that, the supermarket increased the orders to 20 pigs a week. Anna's major breakthrough happened when, in 2010, she signed an unbelievable deal to deliver 100 pigs a week to Pick n Pay for the next 5 years. This deal was worth an amazing 25 million rands. That is about $2.5 million. With a low cash reserve, a small land mass, and a contract in hand, she secured funding from the Absa Bank and used it to purchase a 350-hectare farmland. Today, her handwork has paid off, and she runs a $1 million business that employs over 20 people. Number 6. HESHAN de SILVA. HESHAN de SILVA became a college dropout in the US in 2007. This event was caused by a worsening heroin and alcohol condition, which nearly took his life. Having dropped out of school, he returned to Kenya to join his parents so he could get his life back together. Back in Kenya with nothing to do, his parents gave him 10,000 Kenya shillings, which he used to start a small business. This is about $100. With just $100 in hand and aged 18, he got into the transportation sector by selling bus tickets bundled with an insurance cover. As the media would tell it, by the end of the year, his business had generated 90 million Kenya shillings, about $1 million in revenue. With this fascinating success, HESHAN de SILVA started a venture capital firm called the SILVA Group, focused on investing in specific types of startups. Irrespective of his short education and experience, HESHAN de SILVA hasn't just turned out to be one of the youngest millionaires in Africa, but has received a global popularity through his features on CNN and Forbes. Number 7. JACKY GOLIATH and ELTON JEFTHAS. These two South African entrepreneurs founded Define Nursery in 2001 in JEFTHAS' backyard. Back in 2001, the cost of starting up a nursery in a small scale was stipulated to cost considerably little because of the cheap cost of the seedlings. and the fact that they started out from their backyard. As their crops grew, they sold out very fast, and in short time, they had to move out of their backyard to a half-hectare of land in 2005. By 2008, they moved again to 1.5 hectare of land and were growing crops numbering roughly around 600,000 plants. Today, the fine nursery operates from a landmass sitting on a minimum of 22 hectares and supplies several large clients like Spar, Woolworth, and Massmart. Those are our 7 African millionaires who started with only $250 or less. So, what do you think about these successful African millionaires? Do you think you can also start and reach where they are? Do you feel motivated? If you do, leave a comment and let us know. If we left out a very great entrepreneur who motivates you, kindly also let us know on the comment section. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and bye.